Hi everyone, and welcome to the part 2 of the episode Taxation. My name is Wango Morioki. I am a digital marketer, social media manager, and content creator. And I'm again joined by Samson from Huru Finance. And I want us to define terms when it comes to taxation. So we'll start with Paye.
Yes, Paye. Paye, as the name suggests, pay as you earn. Paye, that's the abbreviation of the word pay. Pay as you earn. So it's ideally whatever you earn as an employee of a particular place. So your employer deducts some money from it and remits it to KRA. That is ideally it. It's done with various rates depending on your income. With the effect of 2021, government introduced new rates that it is tiered into 3 levels. That is, the first level is below 24, anything below 24,000 is 10%. And then the next 8,333 is 25%, and then anything above that is at 30%. Okay. Yes.
Interesting. Now, withholding tax.
So, withholding tax is, as the name suggests, withholding. So I withhold some money and then remit it somewhere else. So let's say this mostly comes when, let's say, you're a consultant somewhere, or you're working in a consultancy basis, or you are doing some work as a contractor somewhere, but you're not literally fully employed in a particular company. Like you're not there on a day-to-day basis. You just come once for a short time and then you leave. So it is a tax that is for such kind of people. So for various groups have got various withholding tax rates. For consultancy, it has the withholding tax rate. There is what else? Contraction jobs have got withholding tax rates. So each one of them have got various rates. Yes.
Yeah. Rental tax income.
So rental tax. It has got various categories. Depending that will determine how we will define it.
Yeah.
But ideally, rental income tax is just rent it's a tax that is deducted from rental money that you receive as an owner of a premises. So it can be let's say your rent is it has various rates depending on at what level is it happening. So if it's the monthly rental tax, as the name suggests, it's rented on a monthly basis. It's for people who their rental income as an owner is between 144,000 in a year. That means 12,000 per month. 144,000 to 10 million in a year. And anything beyond or below that is included in your annual income tax. Yes.
And so does anyone who's leasing or who's been financed, let's say by a bank or an organization, liable to rental income tax the same way? Might different?
So it depends. Like I said, for those who are in between that gap of 144,000 and 10 million, such kind, regardless of whether they have loans or they have anything, is supposed to remit that amount to the government. But those who, let's say, are beyond, and let's say are beyond that, let's say above 10 million in a year. Those people, they can do it like the normal income statement. So they'll have this is the income I got from my rentals. This is the money. This is the expenditure that I have actually had on these rentals. Let's say this is the money I've been financed. So you adjust everything as a normal profit and loss account, and then it will be charged at the normal corporate tax rate of 30%. So it will be regarded as an entity on its own.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. VAT.
VAT, value added tax. So this is for goods and services. It's derived from purchases and sales of goods and services. So it's at a rate of 16% currently, effective January this year. So it's whenever you buy something from a company that is registered with VAT, they'll charge VAT on top of the price that they themselves want to have. Let's say if I'm selling to you something and I want to gain 100 shillings, I'll charge you 116. So that the 16 I remit it to KRA, I remain with my 100 shillings. Yes.
Okay. Capital gain tax.
So capital gains tax is a tax that happens when you transact in property. So property in this case can be land, building, or even shares. Let's say you have shares in a particular company or institution. So how capital gains tax works is whoever is selling this particular property is the one who bears that cost. So it will be 5% of that amount that you've transacted with. Let's say you're selling a property worth 100 shillings. You will have to pay 5 shillings to the government as after receiving that 100 shillings, so you end up remaining with 95 shillings. So if you want to have your 100 back, you'll charge 105, then you 5 will remain to it, and then now the government. Yes.
Oh, interesting.
Yes.
Gaming, betting, lottery.
I see. At some point, the government had really been so much against them in so many issues about it. But anyway, they tend to help the citizens. That's why it's taxed very highly at 20% of the wins. So if maybe you in a competition, let's say you had participated in a betting competition and you won, let's say 1,000 bob, 20% of that goes to the government. So 200 shillings to the government, and then now you get the rest.
Okay.
Yes.
So this means even with Betika, betting,
all that. So if you win, the money that they have said that you will win, 20% of it is going to go to the government. You get 80% of it.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Tax refunds.
Tax refunds. So like in our last time we talked about filing returns. So tax refund arises in the instance whereby, let's say your employer forgot to, let's say, add or factor in your insurance policy in your normal monthly payroll. So and they didn't factor in, and you see insurance reduces your tax. That is supposed to remain to the government. They pay. So what happens is, so that moment when you're filing a return, you'll put your insurance, and then at the end there the balance will be negative. So what will happen is that amount you're supposed to claim it back from the government. The process of claiming it back is now when you log into iTax, there's a refunds tab, so you'll just go there, refund, and then they ask you for the relevant documents that support this refund. So is it your P9, is it the insurance policy that cover showing how much premiums you're paying per month, and for that particular year how much premiums you paid. So then now once you submit there, you just wait, and the government now will process the rest.
And which insurance policies are this?
Life insurance policy, to be specific, not general insurance. So life insurance policies with terms at least 10 years. Yes. So education policy, it can be life policy, as long as it's not a general policy like, let's say, for a house or for a car. No, that you can't claim for insurance. Tax assessment. So the government assumes that we are dutiful citizens who love their country. Like I said at first, I think in the other session, that taxes help the government to finance its citizens and finance operations. So the government will assume that I'll assess myself and know this is how much money I earned, this is how much I spent, so this is the amount of tax that I'm supposed to pay the government. Ideally, that assessing yourself, kujijua, this is the money I earned, this is how much I spent, so that is the whole process of assessing.
So they are not seeking to follow you.
So they assume that you'll be truthful. Which I hope all Kenyans are.
Taxation of foreign income.
So foreign income, allow me to add something there that relates to foreign income, that is double taxation agreements. So let's say you're working in a foreign country, not Kenya, and this country has a policy known as double taxation policy with Kenya. So what will happen is when you're in Kenya, you have when you're initially in Kenya, you're born in Kenya, and before you go into that country, you had a KRA pin. So even if you are in another country, still your KRA pin is still there. As long as you're still alive, your KRA pin is still there. So maybe you go to another country and get employed there. So that country will also tax you there because you're earning income from that country. So now at the end of the period, let's say you're supposed to file returns at the end of the year. So you will file in that country and also file in KRA with KRA here in Kenya. So whichever position that shall be in, so because KRA will deem that this money you get from that side, on our side, how much would you have paid taxes? Because different countries have got different tax rates, so they'll assess based on that, and then see now which is the position that you are in. Are you supposed to pay more, or it's supposed to refund you? That being the case, and you're supposed to use the exchange rate at that time, because suppose it's a different currency, of course, since it's a different country. So now you use the rate that when that money, when you receive that money, what was the interest, what was the exchange rate at that particular time, as per the government, that is as per CBK. Yes.
Lastly, waiver process.
Waiver. So I've had some instances whereby students who maybe, let's say, were studying in campus and they took help loan.
Yeah.
And they were like, okay, so now I just took my KRA pin for help, nothing else. So now they have studied campus all through, they are finished. Now to the end, they have graduated and they got jobs. But then now the employer asks them for their KRA pin and they're like, how comes I have penalties for all this period?
Yes.
I'm a student. So with that kind of instance, you can go to KRA, tell them, as a student this time, not earning anything.
Yes.
So I would like to apply for a waiver for these penalties that are in my account.
Okay.
So they'll ask you to prove that you're a student, you're in school that time. So you can provide like your calling letter for the university or for the college that you are in, and how you have been and when you graduated. So at least they can prove to see that indeed you are a student at this time.
Okay.
Yeah. So you'll have required to upload those documents or send to them the last time those documents to them. They verify to prove, then they can effect that waiver at their own masses.
Okay.
Yes.
So that has been a very interesting conversation, and I hope you've learned. If you have any more questions, if you need any more clarifications, kindly ask in the comment section and we will be sure to answer you. Asanteni sana for watching this video. Remember to like, share, subscribe, comment, and see you on the final part of the conversation tax.